Hey gearheads, and welcome to Garage Talk. I'm Corey, and this is the highly refreshed 2022 Buick Enclave in the premium trim. And in this video, I'm going to go over all the features that make this a nice road cruiser and maybe what would persuade me to buy it. All right, so getting under the hood to see what motivates this big 3-row family SUV. It is General Motors 3.6 liter naturally aspirated V6 mated to a 9-speed automatic transmission. It makes 310 horsepower and 266 pound-feet of torque. It's enough. It gets this vehicle around with no problems. This one is front-wheel drive, but you can get it in all-wheel drive. Closing the hood and taking a step back to admire the updated styling for 2022, you can see it's a very handsomely styled SUV. You've got LED running lights and turn signals up here, separated from the actual headlight housing down below by this chrome strip on the grille. And Buick is quite proud of their heritage with a color TriStar grille, very prominently placed here in the middle. The chrome and the red work very well for me. You can see you've got your front mounted camera here, your parking sensors up front, very clean design. And speaking of that red and chrome on this particular one, this cherry red is a tri-coat with some metal flake in it. It is an additional cost option, but oh my goodness, it contrasts so well with the chrome accents on this and helps accentuate all of the design lines down, especially the side here on the profile of the Enclave, including this nice little curve over the rear wheels that kind of give it a little bit of a Coke bottle shape and a little bit of hip action back here at the back. We've got chrome accents all around, including over this side vent here, which actually, if you look through it, does open up to something. Chrome or polished aluminum 20-inch wheels wrapped in fuel saver Continental tires that help that 3.6 liter engine get 18 mpg in the city, 26 on the highway, and 21 combined, which is good for a large vehicle like this. It is one of the largest in the 3-row segment without going ginormous body on frame. Think Yukon, Suburban, Tahoe, that area. One thing I really like is GM has the remote proximity keyless access. It is a button here on all 4 doors, so you can lock and unlock just by pushing this button. There's no touchpad on the back, but you can lock and unlock from any of the doors. So if you're needing to get a kid in the back seat, you can do that no matter what door you're going from, because you have those built in to each and every door. Moving inside here, it is a very comfortable interior. Leather wrapped almost everything that you can look at or touch, and the leather in this one is a dark gray that I really like. It breaks up the sea of black in here, does a very nice job. Everything you can touch above your waist is soft touch, including these door panels, which are very nicely rubberized and textured. You can see here you've got 2-person memory seat, auto up down on the driver's door, auto down on the rest, but manual up there. You've got your rear hatch button here on the side, and you can actually program it to whatever height you want, but that's very nice. Bose sound system in this one. You've got heads-up display, which is new standard option for 2022. You've got a color helper screen here to go with the tach and the fuel and temperature gauges. 8-inch color touchscreen for your infotainment. Heated and ventilated seats. We'll get more into the dynamics up here as we drive, because you even have rear view camera mirror here. But let's move to that middle row and see what it's like. I've currently got it where I like to sit for my 5'10" self, sitting behind myself here in the second row. It's a stadium style seat, so I can see over the headrest perfectly fine, and I can see out the entire windshield from here. Sitting behind myself, I've got no problem when it comes to rear legroom. My knees aren't touching, quite comfortable. I've got a cup holder here in the door, which is needed because this has captain's chairs with folding armrests. You've got rear climate controls back here, rear heated seats, power on the backside of the center console as well. Got some map pockets here, very comfortable. And then you've got a continuation of the hard rubber floor mats from the front. You've got them back here as well. And then the second row actually slides forward and back. So I didn't even have it in the rearmost position. You can get even more legroom. But even sliding it all the way forward, sitting behind myself, I've got plenty of room. Now, let's see what that rear seat is really like. I'm actually going to go over to the passenger side and show you an interesting feature that is only on the passenger side, and that is a child seat friendly rear access seating. So pulling this handle on the side of the passenger seat flips the entire seat up, which allows you to keep a child seat in place and access the rear seat of the Enclave. This is actually a 3 across rear seat, but I can see it being just a little bit tight. You can see I'm sitting behind where I left the middle seat, and I've got plenty of room back here. Again, I'm 5'10", quite comfortable. It is a little on the narrow side if you're going to get 3 across here in the back, but you've got plenty of leg room thanks to the captain's chairs. You've got a roof-mounted seat belt that you can lift and store out of the way. And back here you actually have USB-A on both the left and right side of the rear cargo compartment. Moving back to the way back, we will climb out here. And again, very easy to put that seat back where it goes. You have a power lift gate, which I mentioned earlier. You can program how high it raises. This will be its max load height. And again, I'm 5'10", allows you to get underneath it just fine. Going to the floor mats that were in the first and second row, you've actually got rear cargo protection back here as well. Hard rubberized plastic, very nice. And power folding third row seats that have the same cargo liner on the back of them and this little flap that helps cover up the junction between the seat back and the floor. Very nice, very spacious, tons of room, and you have even more room underneath the cargo, the floor right here, large enough for my backpack, just for reference. It locks into place, closes very nicely. Very spacious rear cargo compartment, even with the seats up. I'm just going to show you, even with the back seats up, there's plenty of room, more than pretty much everyone in the class. And then power closing rear hatch. That's a quick tour of the outside of this Enclave, but let's see exactly what this is like when we set out on the roads and see how it rides and drives. All right, so the infotainment screen in this is small but nice. It's got a lot of very easy controls here, very easy to learn. You've got Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, you've got built-in Wi-Fi hotspots, built-in Amazon Alexa, rear climate controls here, as well as your front climate controls. Very easy to learn. Comprehensive camera system with 360. You've got your bird's eye over here, which you can turn on and off on practically any of these views. You can see trailering view. You can see more out behind you from that camera for the rear view mirror. You can see up in front of you with trajectory. You can see back behind you with trajectory. You can see from your mirrors, your rear or front tires. You can see your trailer hitch if you are lining it up, because this does have a trailering package. All in all, a very comprehensive camera view system and very good infotainment system, albeit a little on the small side by modern standards. All right, setting off in the 2022 Buick Enclave Premium front wheel drive. First things first, very clear rear view camera system and 360 bird's eye. All the cameras, you've got top down front, top down rear, all kinds of different camera angles. You can see front with trajectory, rear with trajectory, front tires, rear tires, trailer hitch, trailer lineup. If you had a trailer on it, you can hook a camera up to that as well. Great camera system here that continues to this rear view mirror that actually, if you flip it up, is a rear view camera itself. Takes a little bit of getting used to, but that's very nice. Setting off and driving it, we are downtown Tyler, Texas right now on some historic brick streets to see just how this 2022 Buick Enclave drives around town. And there's no doubt about it, this is a large vehicle. It's one of the largest in the mid-size 3-row crossover class, and it's big. I'm not gonna lie, it's big, but it doesn't drive as big as it is. I know that sounds weird, but it feels much more compact. It comes down to the steering. It's direct without being too quick or sporty, because that's not the aspirations of this vehicle. It's not overly heavy. It allows you just to quickly, turn in, zip, and get around town without any problems. It's a very good steering setup for the rest of the vehicle. The suspension on it is very comfortable and is set up for tackling bumps and just eating up any unevenness in the road. Like I said, I'm on brick streets now. Can't really tell. I can hear it. I know that I'm not on a smooth pavement, but can't really feel it. The engine and transmission in this 3.6 liter V6, 9-speed automatic transmission. Some rough railroad tracks, ate that right up. The transmission is really good, and the engine is adequately powered for this. It's not going to be a corner carver, but that's not what this vehicle is set up to do. Don't let these paddle shifter on the steering wheel fool you. This is not a sports car. This is not set up to be a sports car. This is perfectly set up to be a highway cruiser and a comfortable city vehicle, because here I am, like I said, driving around downtown Tyler, and it's soaking up all the bumps. It's very comfortable. Like I said, it doesn't drive as big as it is. It can very easily weave in and out of traffic without a problem. The engine is adequately powered. The steering is properly weighted. It's a comfortable vehicle with very good sight lines in and out of it. You don't really have any major blind spots in this vehicle, which is good. But even still, Buick helps you out with, again, the 360 camera system with blind spot monitoring. They've got you covered in this vehicle, no matter the situation you're driving in. And that camera system actually comes on at low speed situations based on the radar adaptive sonar sensor parking sensors. So I noted driving up my driveway, which is very steep, it activated the cameras just to let me know, hey, you might not see something there in front of you. I'm on some of the roughest brick streets in downtown Tyler right now, and it is absolutely soaking it up. Very nice, very well done. I guess this would be just a perfect city cruiser if you've got, some rough, maybe Michigan potholes, roads, or historic brick streets in your town. Soaks it all up. But where this thing, I think, would just excel more than anything else would be highway cruising. Get this thing up to speed and just eat up the miles. I've joked many times that this should have been called the Roadmaster, because that's what it is. It is the master of the road. It just, my goodness, I could see putting many, many miles on this without even knowing it, just cruising down the highway in extreme comfort. And while we are talking about that, the seats, very comfortable, heated, ventilated, very nice. You can control them right from right here. They remember the settings on them, whether or not you've cycled the engine or not. So I've got it on level 1 of ventilated seats. Very nice. And there's a button on the side of the bottom of the seat here for a massaging seat back. So again, going to eating up some highway miles, be very comfortable in this vehicle. The suspension is very comfortable. These seats are very comfortable. Add on top of it that massage function, and you are doing quite well. But the only noise that you hear in here is not the vehicle rattling, is stuff I brought with me. So very quiet on the bumps, soaks everything up quite well. Going to the technology in here, I mentioned the paddle shifters for the transmission. It's got General Motors gear selector here. That's a push button lift lever for anything that sets the engine to move the vehicle, is actually a lift up lever. So reverse and drive, you have to lift. Everything else is a button. Frees up some under console storage down here, which is very nice. And then you've got your paddle shifters here, which I've not used because that's not why you buy this. You've got your driver information screen controls here on the right side, and your driver assistance features here on the left side. That's everything from your gap to the vehicle in front of you to your adaptive cruise control. All that's controlled right here. You actually get knobs for climate control and for the audio, which I really like. Kudos on that. You can control the rear climate from up here as well. Front or rear climate is all on the touchscreen up here. But you do have hard buttons for your fan speed and your recirculation. All the quick access stuff is controlled by a hard button, but can also be controlled on the screen. You've got a Qi wireless charging pad here that works well for even today's modern large phones. We've got an iPhone 12 Pro Max charging in it without a hitch. The angle of it, the pitch of it, everything, it works well. I've been in some vehicles where you just have to finesse putting your phone in the wireless charger to actually continually wirelessly charge your phone. So kudos on Buick's design there for that. You do also have a USB-A and USB-C up here that are right next to the wireless charging pad, so it's not hidden in a console or anything like that. Just note you might have some wires laying around. This does have auto start stop on it, but you can defeat it right here. You've got your parking sensors up here, your lane keep up here, your drive mode here, which there are 2 drive modes. There's tour and tow haul mode in this. So again, it's a comfortable tour of a vehicle. It's a cross-country vehicle, and that's where this would just be at its happiest, is putting many, many highway miles on the vehicle behind the wheel. It's very comfortable. Build quality in here, again, everything I can touch is soft. Everything above my waist is soft. You do get some scratchy plastics down here. Other than that, it's a well put together, creak rattle free interior, very nicely styled and put together, even if the infotainment is on the small side for modern vehicles. Really, driving this around, I'm finding very few things to even nitpick on this one. Sure, like I said, the hard plastic down here, the plastic wood, fake wood grain is a little too much in my opinion, but I mean, it's just small things like that. This is the mid-grade premium trim. It's not even the top grade Avenir, which gets an even better suspension package and even more luxury baked right in. But at $54,000, I'm really having a hard time seeing what else I would actually want in this vehicle. It's got everything I would want. Heated, ventilated seats with massage, 2-person memory, leather wrapped everything, comfortable steering wheel, adaptive cruise control, lane keep assist, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi hotspot, rear view camera, bird's eye 360 cameras. Like, it's got everything that I would find myself hard pressed actually wanting to trade up to that Avenir if I didn't want that extra style and panache that comes with the top trim of any vehicle, especially that Avenir trim. Very nice vehicle, very well put together. Will go up against its competition from, I think, Kia Telluride, Hyundai Palisade, or even Genesis GV80. At $54,000, this one is a little on the pricier side, but it is also a little bit larger than those as well. This really fights more in the realm of Jeep Grand Cherokee L when it comes to pricing. So just something to keep in mind when you are cross-shopping this against rivals. This is a front-wheel drive biased platform. Even if you get the all-wheel drive, you will notice the V6 is mounted transversely under the hood. But again, it's a very comfortable, confident daily driver and highway cruiser. So let's go take this back and give you my final thoughts on what this 22 Buick Enclave is really like. All right, so final thoughts on this 2022 Buick Enclave. This thing is happiest on long commutes. If you plan on putting a lot of highway miles, this is the vehicle to look at. Even still, this thing is comfortable around town. While it is perhaps the largest in its class of 3-row premium SUVs, it's actually comfortable on city streets, even tight city streets. It drives a lot smaller than its proportions would suggest. So if you want a large, comfortable, very luxurious mid-grade package Buick, this is definitely one to check out, and perhaps could give Telluride, Palisade, Explorer, Aviator, you name it, a run for their money.